The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. On the show today, our national coverage takes us out to the Midwest 3-year-olds in the Grade 3 LeCompte from the fairgrounds. We'll have that coming up in just a bit. Our local race of the week, a big gate of 11 and a first level allowance as they're looking for that winner's share of a purse of $46,000. We'll also have the seasonal debut of sprint champion Roy H., and we'll spend some time with Glenn Bennett. Glenn, part owner of that Maximus Mischief, and we'll talk to Glenn about what that has been like as they
get ready for the Holy Bowl a week from today.
You better believe it. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones here on the first floor at Parks Racing. My friend Dick Girardi. And Dick, last week on Let's Go Racing, we talked about that open house for our buddy Smarty Jones.
Yep.
That just happened this past weekend.
Yeah, it was last Saturday up in Annville at Equistar Farm. That's in Lebanon County, not too far from Penn National. And Smarty has come home.
Yes.
This will be his last stop on his way to retirement.
I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but the Let's Go Racing cameras were out at the open house.
Of course they were.
Yes. Here's our man Bruce Casella with Pat Chapman and Rodney Eckenrode.
You know what? It's just amazing. It's a terrific opportunity, not only for the state of Pennsylvania, but for the whole Mid-Atlantic region. We just feel extremely blessed to have a horse of his quality.
Oh my, that's so exciting to see it here again.
The breeding shed will open here the 15th of February, and we have a lot of contracts out right now, so I think he's going to be extremely busy this year.
I hated to take him from Pennsylvania, but the breeders had lost interest in breeding to him. So we just, for the syndicate and for me, we couldn't afford to leave him here. So I thought, well, let's give him a chance in Kentucky one more time. And that worked for a couple of years, but that last year there, same thing happened. You know, the interest fell off, and had so many questions about getting him back here. So many people seemed to be interested, and I said, well, let's give it a try and see if the breeders come out this time. It feels almost as good as reading old love letters.
When you see Smarty, what do you see? What do you think?
Oh, I think, wow, what a ride, what a thrill. Who would have ever dreamed that we would ever end up with a horse like that, and with the memories that I have. And I think about it so often and relive a lot of the good times that Chappie and I had. So
the fans still love this horse, don't they?
They do. They do. That's a big thrill. You know, I still hear from fans occasionally, and then I go on the Facebook page and see all the nice comments about Smarty. It's wonderful to know that he hasn't been forgotten. I just hope that someday he's going to get a good runner that's going to help even more, you know, keep his name in the limelight.
Big Pat brought Smarty back to Pennsylvania and just hoping to get that big one.
Yeah, look, there'll be Pennsylvania breds forever, right? This is the Babe Ruth of Pennsylvania breds. It'd be hard to imagine we're ever going to get another one, but we always have Smarty Jones.
Absolutely. Dick, let's get onto the racetrack for our local race of the week. We're going to go 7 furlongs of first level allowance here, and had a big gate of 11. Number 5, Bluegrass Express, the 5-2 favorite for trainer Richie Vega. He's been up in New York. He's been putting up some pretty big numbers.
Very good numbers. 90 and 90 in the last 2 starts. If he can come close to that, that's going to win.
The second choice here is number 2, Sir Alfred, who's 4-1 for trainer Jamie Ness. He has been in this condition the last 3 times. He's been 10-1, 11-1, and 11-1. And now you're going to give me 4-1?
You're not taking that 4-1.
No, I'm not. Let's get our local race of the week. 7/8 of first level allowance. Tallybo has opened up a clear 2-length lead as Bluegrass Express is moving into the second spot. Sir Alfred now back to third. Quito's trying to rally on the extreme outside. White Bluff had to steady there and dropped out of it quickly, so they race past the 3/8 pole. Tallybo is on top by about 1.5 lengths. Bluegrass Express is in hot pursuit second. Dennis's Diamond hard pressed to stay with those two, now racing third by another 3. Hail to the King has dropped back, forewarned on the outside every step, trying to make a late bid on the extreme outside. They have to come and get Tally Mo. Tally Mo comes off the turn with a 2.5 length lead as Bluegrass Express now takes aim on the outside. Bluegrass Express begins to gain a little bit of ground. Forewarned is coming fast on the far outside. Look at this late run by Forewarned. He is up at 11 to 1 and he's going to roll right past them all. Forewarned from well back to win it. Well, Bluegrass Express had been putting up those numbers at 6 furlongs, and Dick, he was right in contention at 6 furlongs. But that 7th furlong was too much as he faded out of it. Here comes Forewarned. How about our buddy Uriah St. Louis? The 11 to 1 Anthony Salgado aboard, rallies for the big victory, wins a length and a quarter, and pays $25 to win.
Yeah, second time Uriah brought him in from Mahoning Valley, and was a really good winner here. It's Uriah's first winner of 2019. It says here he only had 17 winners in 2018.
Right.
He had the right winners in 2018. How about 11 to 1 over 19 over 62 to 1 if you had the try.
Dick, we talk about first time turf or turf to dirt. Is second time Uriah, is that a big one? We want to keep an eye on that?
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on anything he runs.
Well, Dick, it's time for Ask the President, and we've been talking about horse race ownership. Well, our man Sal DeBun has been a horse racing owner for a long time.
Yes, he has.
And he talks about what it is like to own racehorses.
You are a horse owner. You've been a horse owner for a long time. You know, some people may not have a familiarity with that.
It's to me, I look at it as having your own sports franchise. You basically get to pick your manager, your players, and when you go in that winner's circle, you're the only person that can go in that winner's circle because you're the owner. No one else is allowed in that winner's circle. So for that moment, your sports franchise won the World Series or won the National Football Championship. So the excitement of that, what I always like to talk about is that people who are successful in other ventures, in show business or business, when they own horses, they get more excited about a horse winning a race than they do in doubling the value of their stock in a company, because it's such a thing. It's you alone that achieve that goal when you do it, and that excitement is hard to describe unless you experience it yourself.
Right. And then, so that's one thing from the point of view of the owner. But I have to tell you, Sal, I love the track. I've loved the track since I was a young girl, and I would love to be on the rail watching the horses compete. I mean, with a $2 bet, not any more than that. Right. But how exciting, is that for so many people and for families who might be interested in coming here?
Well, I mean, I love when we have our big days like the Pennsylvania Derby or the Kentucky Derby here, that the families come out and they picnic and they're in the picnic area. And I've had the alumni of my high school, St. Joe's Prep, here, and they loved it. They first time experience. When you see a 10-year-old who picked a horse 50 to 1 by a name and their father bet it and they win, they couldn't be more excited.
Yeah.
So it's a great sport. It takes a little effort. Handicapping is not like pulling a slot machine, but the rewards are really terrific when you get them.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner low mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Our featured segment today, we want to welcome in part of the Maximus Mischief Partnership and its co-owner, Glenn Bennett. And Glenn, it is a great pleasure to have you on the show today. Before we talk about Max, let's talk about you. How did you get involved in horse ownership, and how long have you been an owner?
Got involved in 2012. My former boss partner, he got sick, passed away. He had a bunch of racehorses, and we bought them from the estate with some friends. And I said to the guys, let's buy the horses, we'll have fun. We'll probably lose the money, but, and that's kind of the way it played out. And then from there, I got the hook. I originally got involved because of my dad, because he loved it, and I just thought it would be, great for me and him. And then, I don't know, something happened. I just fell in love with him. And then met Butch, had a little bit of success. Met Chuck, had a lot more success, and now I'm on the show today, so it's pretty it worked out pretty good.
Glenn, you have a horse that has been identified as a contender for the Kentucky Derby, the most important race maybe in the world. Can you describe to us how consuming this is?
My wife could probably describe it better on how consuming it is, because she busts my stones a little bit. I have the racing on all the time, watch your guys' show over and over, and but you wake up in the morning thinking about them. We have a group text going around all the time, and go to bed thinking about them. I call my dad twice a day now, about them. Used to call once a day, and he would ask how the kids are, and now I call twice a day, ask how the horses are. So it's been, but it's been great. It really is consuming. I mean, it's just a total. I can't even describe it, and it's great.
Glad I talked to you after the Remsen when you knew at that point you were in. You had a horse. He was going to go to Florida. Right. From that moment to this, has there been a moment where you haven't thought about this?
No, not at all. I mean, I look up all the articles, I read them all, get mad at the ones that don't have us ranked high enough, that kind of thing. But it's all good. It's fun. And, I see you at the track out when we were breezing before. And, back then we were feeling pretty good about things. So it's been great.
And you obviously had a decision to make on the rider. Tell us what went into
that was a brutal decision, obviously, from a heart standpoint, and we're trying to make a business decision, because obviously this is a really tough business, and it just made some sense because Jose's down there at Gulfstream and all, and it's we just thought it probably gave us the best opportunity. He's been in a lot of big races, and we love Frank. He's outstanding, and it was very difficult, but Jose's on him now.
What's it going to be like hanging at the track waiting?
So it'll be good. I mean, it'll be a lot of people there. As you know, Chuck and I both roll with entourage a lot of times. So I think we have 50 or 60 people going. So it's going to be, everybody's excited. It's really good. So hopefully everything works out, and we'll be talking again.
Glenn, how did you find out that, this is a special horse. You've been involved in the game for only 6 years, and now you have a horse of this quality.
Right.
How did you find out about the fact that, wow, we have a good one?
Well, at the sale, they really liked him. Chuck and Alex picked him out of Sun. And then we started training, and Butch was, like, this one looks really good. And he's such a physical specimen, too. He's so big and all. And Butch always talks about how athletic he is. But after the first breeze, I think he told the story on the show, he really did call up and say, hey, book your tickets, we're going to Kentucky. And, I think he was half joking, but, half serious. And then when you were being serious about him, that's when I knew, it was a real nice horse.
Glenn, now, if things go well in the Holy Bull, the idea is then to probably skip the Fountain of Youth and go to the Florida Derby. And after that, we know where we'd like to end up. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I think about it all the time. Think about it right now, so we're talking. So, hopefully it all plays out. But, that's the goal at the moment. And obviously, Butch and Chuck will make the decision. But as of right now, that's the plan. So keep them healthy and happy, and, they said he's doing great.
Glenn, I know you and Chuck have been involved in some horses. How did you get involved in this particular horse?
I got lucky on this one. I kind of like the into mischiefs, and Chuck, how he is. He tells me he's going, to see how I might buy 1 or 2, and he buys 9, So, it's just Chuck. So, fortunately, I picked these couple to get involved with him, because I can't, I take the minority share with him. Right. I can't roll like he does, and fortunately got lucky and got on the right one. So, a little bit of luck involved. Well, I think I have jaywalk too. I'm pretty sure I'm involved in that one. So I'm still trying to figure that out.
Well, Glenn, we wish you all the best of luck, because I know how excited this guy is over here, and I know we're all very excited here, and we'll be right there with you. And best of luck in the Holy Bull, and best of luck going forward.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us. Time to get to our national coverage, and it's brought to you by Chapman Auto Group. Unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck, you probably paid too much. And our national race of the week takes us to the fairgrounds for the Grade 3 LeCompte. Our first look at the Midwest 3-year-old stick. 1 mile and 70 yards for $200,000. Pretty big field. We have number 8, War of Will, is the 8-5 favorite. Comes out of that Mark Cassie barn. He's the son of Warfront. Dick, as you look through his PPs, as a 2-year-old, he was mostly a grass horse. He was a maiden and ran in some big races.
Yeah, it was interesting. They obviously thought a lot of him. He's by Warfront, so you're thinking turf for sure. So he was in the summer of Grade 1 up at Woodbine. He ran in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf.
Not bad.
Finished a respectable 5th at 15-1. But his first dirt start, which was in a slop, was powerful. I mean, just like visually, got an 82. So Mark Cassie's made the decision, hey, Maybe we got a
Let's
third
see,
horse
yeah.
here.
Second choice, number 12, is Plus Q Parfait. He's 4-1 for trainer Brendan Walsh. And Dick, he closed out his 2-year-old season with a really good effort in the Grade 2 Kentucky Jockey Club down at Churchill.
Yeah, I'm not sure how good that race was because the winning number was like an 85, but I did think this horse really ran well. I'm a big Brendan Walsh fan. Remember, he came here years ago with a Smarty Jones horse to win the Greenwood Cup by like 100. And is there a better horse name for the fairgrounds in New Orleans than Blue Q Parfait?
Dick, let's go to the fairgrounds. The favorite, number 8, War of Will, is 8-5, and here's the call.
Here's the half-mile pole. It's Malpais, and Manny Wa's been right there with Malpais. Half mile in 49.22 seconds as they turn again. War of Will be wide both turns, but right there near the front with 3 furlongs to go. A ground-saving wicket indeed with Tackett. Puska Parfait moves up in between horses. It's War of Wills and Maniwa now going for the quarter pole. Hog Creek Hustle is wide. Then Chase the Ghost. Tight 10 is next from Night Ops as they come for home. Then Boyland and Most Speed is last of 12. They're homeward bound. 3/4 at 1 minute 14.63 seconds. It's War of Will.
We'll talk about the number in just a minute, Dick, but I thought visually this was very impressive. War of Will looked like he just wanted to go the whole way.
Yep.
And boy, when he went. He pulled off to win by 4 and paid $5.20 to win. And Dick, what kind of number did he put up?
A big number, 94. I was thinking, boy, this probably wouldn't be much given the first dirt start. This was good. This horse is a contender. Mark Cassie's had horses, obviously had a chance to win the Derby. Yeah, this horse is another one. Put him on the list.
Yeah.
He's somewhere in the top 10. Take your pick of where. And you're thinking, again, Warfront doesn't make a lot of sense. It's mostly grass, but he won't be back on the grass anytime soon off of that race.
You'd see that Gaffalione had a hold of him the whole way. He just wanted to go. Dick, let's go out to Santa Anita and take a look at the sprint champion. Roy H. is making his 2019 debut. And Peter Miller, this is the Palos Verdes Grade 2 race. Peter Miller hasn't trained here. He's 30 cents on the dollar. And Dick, as much as we love Imperial Hint, Roy H. is a tremendous sprinter.
Yeah, it's interesting. He was not much of a horse until they gelded him, and he's become completely different since then, obviously, in a lot of ways, including he's just a running fool. This was his first race last year, and he won it pretty easily at 1-5. This is 3-10, and looks like the same kind of spot.
We don't even need to talk about the second choice.
Not really.
Let's just watch Roy H. Here's the Palos Verdes.
Conquest Tsunami, the leader. Roy H., though, is coming very smartly on the outside, and Roy H. takes the lead without being asked to do so. St. Joe Bay is 3 lengths behind. They're followed by Awesome Anywhere. Top of the stretch, Paco Lopez has done his job. It's up to Roy H., and he's in front by 2. Conquest Tsunami, Kentaka finishing strongly in 3rd, but as they come past the 16th pole, it's Roy H., a magnificent sprinter.
Well, he won last year's Palos Verdes convincingly did it again. Because I'm watching him run. He's not even trying. And he finishes 6 furlongs in 108.89, $2.60 to win. Roy H. at 7 has not lost a step.
It wasn't just a fast time. It was fast, 109 Beyer. That's about as good as he gets. He got a 111 in his Breeders' Cup wins, but this was over $3 million in earnings, which is hard to do for a sprinter. And he'll once again try, it sounds like, for the Dubai Golden Shaheen, where he finished 3rd by 3/4 last year. And they'll try it again.
West Point ran 2nd with Kantaka, closing for 2nd.
Neat horse, Kantaka.
Dick, let's go to Gulfstream Park for the Sunshine Millions Classic, the big day on Sunshine Millions Day, and they'll go 9 furlongs for $200,000. The favorite starts on the outside, number 8, Super Tap It. He's 3-2 again for trainer Mark Cassie. Dick, only 3 wins, but he's very consistent and he earns money.
He is, and it's the Mark Cassie Johnny V combination, which is always a good one.
Number 1, Dalmore, the second choice here at 2-1 out of that Anthony Cortarolo barn, and he likes to do his best running up front.
He does. He looks like he's the speed on paper.
Well, let's go down to Gulfstream. Here's the Sunshine Millions Classic.
Luis Saez and Jay's Way in front 3 parts of a length. Dalmore's in a bit of a precarious spot while racing in 2nd. Weiser is 3rd. Super Tappet on the outside is now 4th, back to 5th, and Forevamo. Then comes Mr. Jordan. Transistor is now 7th, and 8th and last is Noble Drama behind an opening quarter mile in 24 seconds flat. Down the backstretch they go. Jay's Way has the lead 3 parts of a length. Weiser now races from 2nd. Down at the inside, Dalmore had to check back briefly, but he settled in third. 3 wide and Super Tap It from fourth. Then back to Forever Mo. The gray Mr. Jordan is on his outside. Transistor's about 6 lengths off the lead, while second last, and Noble Drama is last of all through an opening half mile in 47.3. They leave the backstretch and move on to the far turn in the Sunshine Millions Classic. Jay's Way, held together up front by Saez, leads the way 3/4 of a length. Weiser is second. Velasquez has not moved on Super Tap It. He's third. Dalmore needs some place to go now. He's boxed in fourth. Back to fifth and Forever Mo. Then comes Transistor as they run to the top of the stretch, 1/4 of a mile away. Johnny V moved just enough to keep Dalmore boxed in for a few more strides as Super Tap It now charges up to take the lead. Jay's Way is back to second. Dalmore's into the clear with 3/16 to go. Up front, Super Tap It asked to finish the job by Velasquez and leads the way by a length. Jay's Way is very game and Dalmore on the outside. 16th to go. Super Tap It not home yet. Jay's Way is some kind of game on the rail. They come to the wire. It's Super Tap It.
Well, a good stretch battle for $200,000. Super Tap It outfinishes the other two and gets up to win by a half length and pays $5 to win. A good effort by the 7, Jay's Will to hold for second. And finishing third there on the outside, Dalmore. And Johnny Velasquez did an excellent job at the top of the stretch, pinning Dalmore to the inside, got first run, and then held on to win.
That's why he's one of the best that's ever ridden. He understands when to go and who to keep in trouble. And Jay's Way loose in the lead, but couldn't hold off Super Tap It. Can they be any more super than Tap It himself? Well, apparently Super Tap It's pretty good.
You got it. Well, let's get to our next break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing, our Turning for Home Horse of the Week. We'll be right back with that after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. It's time for our Turning for Home Horse of the Week. And, of course, it's brought to you by the folks at Turning for Home. Log on to their website at turningforhome.org. And here's more with our Horse of the Week and Danielle Montgomery.
Our Turning for Home Horse of the Week is Currency Wave. He is a 4-year-old 16-hand bay gelding by Currency Swap. He ran 8 times here at Parks Racing before being retired to our program. And CW is the kind of horse that, no matter where he goes, he's the first to greet you at the gate. He's currently in training as an all-round show horse and is excelling at ranch pleasure, ranch riding, trail, English, reining, and hopefully cattle boxing soon. He's gotten very relaxed in a lower headset, and with the time and patience of Tom Fowle at Canyon Equine, he could be any kind of horse for the right person. If you would like to learn more about the versatility of the off-track thoroughbred in Western disciplines, you're invited to meet with Turning for Home and the Retired Racehorse Project at the Horse World Expo on February 28th in Harrisburg, PA, where we'll be showing off a few more of our available and adoptable Western thoroughbreds. Thank you. This is Danielle Montgomery with the PTHA's Turning for Home.
And, of course, our thanks to Danielle Montgomery, and the folks at Turning for Home also sponsor our Jockey and Trainer of the Week, and we have co-jockeys and co-trainers of the week. We had a shortened week because of the nasty weather conditions. I mean, Can it be cold? But riding doubles for both Navid Mangali and George Perez. And they were riding for Roger Brown and Harry Weiner.
Roger had a tremendous 2018.
Didn't he? Yep.
Did.
So those guys are our trainers and jockeys of the week. Well, let's get to race recap and head back to Gulfstream Park for part of Sunshine Millions Day. One of the races is the Sprint. 6 furlongs for $100,000. The favorite, Dick, is number 1, XY Jet. He gets bet down to 1-2. He's out of the George Navarro barn. Dick, he is really fast. He's only made the track 5 times since 2016, but if you go back through his PPs, he's been at the Golden Shaheen twice. He got beat a head and a neck.
Yeah, no, he's a phenomenal sprinter. He obviously has some issues. They wanted to run him at a Breeders' Cup. He didn't make it. He won this race last year easily.
Well, how about a speed duel? These two go at it 21 flat, 43 and a piece. The speed backs up, and here comes number 5, Quixote, at 23 to 1.
Yeah, it was the perfect setup. I mean, the absolute dream setup for Quixote. 103 buyer, also a career best.
And $2 gets you $48.60 to win. You got to like that. Well, let's get to Ion Racing. Dick, it's the Pegasus World Cup and the Pegasus Turf Cup. Pretty big races.
Yeah, I'll say they're big races. Now, we don't have like the superstar, maybe like Gun Runner or Arrogate, but Accelerate's a pretty good.
He's pretty good.
He's close enough, right? Finalist for Horse of the Year. I would say he's maybe a step behind those two, but not a huge step. He'll obviously be the big favorite in the final race of his career.
Well, lots of excitement in Florida this weekend, and on that program they also have 4 other graded races, so we're going to see a lot of Gulfstream next week.
We are, and we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Let's get to our final segment, news and notes. Stay with us. We will be right back after this.
Want to get out of the cold this winter? Well, Parks Racing is just the place to keep you warm and toasty. Parks Racing gives you plenty of horse racing action all winter long. Live racing 3 days a week, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yes, Sunday is a day of rest from the live action.
Catherine Sophia, very impressive.
We have simulcast racing every day from tracks all around the country. So put on your snow boots, grab your coat, and head on over to Parks Racing. It's warm and toasty.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time for news and notes brought to you by Pewter Stable. Log on to their website at pewterstable.com. We talked with owners, how fun it is to be an owner. Our man Glenn Bennett, well, you can do it with Pewter Stable.
Yes, sir.
Log on and visit at pewterstable.com. Dick, you can find just about anything these days on the internet.
You can.
And our man Bruce Casella was scouring the internet and found some pretty interesting stuff from a while back at Santa Anita.
Yeah, with Chris McCarron, who's a good friend, and a young Alex Solis, advertising a little Santa Anita action back in the day.
Let's take a peek.
Driver's license and registration, please, sir. You were driving like a madman out there. What were you thinking?
This little blue sports car was coming up on the rail. I had to drop back a couple lanes. He's going to end up taking the lead on the backstretch. I'm supposed to stay in front.
Caramba, officer, he's just trying to maintain his position.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, sir. No, sir. He's getting away.
He's getting away.
Dick, any Emmy Awards to be given out there for those guys?
I think two.
Dick, we talked about the match series last year. They brought the match series back, and it's back again. A little different format this time.
They're all going to be run on September the 2nd here.
We're going to have
Labor Day.
We're going to host 4 races. They're all going to be held in a block, all on September 2nd. And the other racetracks involved too, Laurel and Monmouth Park, are the same thing. All of the match series races are going to come on one day. And for us,
that's what the sport has become, big days. So that'll give another big day in addition to September 21st, which is PA Derby and Cotillion Day.
Looking forward to it. 4 match series races here Monday, September 2nd. That's going to put a wrap on our show this week. We hope you can join us next week right here on Let's Go Racing.